I'm Marlo from Wild Food UK. I'm in my garden today and it's the 1st of May and I'm standing underneath one of the most beautiful things in my garden at this time of year. My lovely laburnum tree. Come on over and have a closer look. Also gets called the golden rain tree and the golden chain tree, I think, as well. This is Laburnum anagyroides and it's in the wider pea family. You can see these trifoliate leaves that look a lot like clover, and then these very pea-like flowers. Absolutely beautiful pea-like flowers. I've actually got a forsythia growing all around it as well, which also has yellow flowers, but there's not really any fresh ones left. There's the remains of a forsythia flower. Now, those forsythia flowers are edible, but these laburnum flowers certainly are not. All your salads should look good at this time of year if you're foraging. You've got beautiful primulas to put in and lady's smock and plenty of other lovely flowers. But if you were to put the laburnum flowers into your salads to make them look lovely, then it would be a bad thing. There's a toxin in them called cytosine, which would make you sick. You would suffer from frothing at the mouth, possibly convulsions, maybe paralysis. And then many websites say that there are deaths attributed to laburnum, but I couldn't actually find any hard evidence of that when I was doing a little bit of research for this video. So if you find any yourself, then please put them into the comments below. Once these flowers drop, you get left with these lovely pea pods. I'll drop in a photo of those right now so that you can see what they look like. They do look like big juicy pea pods, like they might be edible, but those are actually the most toxic part of the plant. Those pea pods contain the most cytosine anywhere in the tree. Cytosine is actually a really interesting chemical. It's an alkaloid that has a very similar molecular structure to nicotine. So it's been used for years as an aid in smoking cessation. I certainly wouldn't go eating those peas to help you stop smoking though. Now, there's a lot of hysteria about the laburnum plant. I think back in the 70s in particular, I think something like 3,000 people a year were admitted to hospital with suspected laburnum poisoning, and they probably all had their stomachs pumped. And then even as late as 2007, there was a school that extended their playground to underneath a laburnum tree, and some of the kids were seen playing with the pea pods. I'm not sure if any of the kids actually ingested any of the pea pods, but they all went to hospital and had their stomachs pumped. Now, just touching the plant or the pea pods, guys, is not a danger. If you've watched my videos in the past, you'll have seen me handling much more toxic things like yew trees and hemlock and death cap mushrooms. The only plant that I won't touch in the UK, or mushroom for that matter, is giant hogweed. There's no mushrooms that are dangerous just to touch, and certainly laburnum and the pea pods that will cover the ground here a little bit later in the year, they're not dangerous to touch, they're only dangerous to ingest. So there's a lot of popular culture history with this tree. I think Oscar Wilde mentions it in Pictures of Dorian Gray, and I think it was associated with Aphrodite, and then there's probably loads of poems that mention the lovely laburnum tree. I do know that in folklore, apparently if you chop down a laburnum tree, any other laburnum trees near to it won't flower the next year. I'm not sure that's true though. What I do know though is that the wood is almost as beautiful as the flowers. So the heartwood of laburnum is very dark and very, very hard. So it's used as an ebony substitute in woodworking. And then the sapwood that surrounds that lovely dark hardwood is very light. So if you use the whole cross section, you get a two-tone effect in your woodworking, which makes it wonderful for that use. Certainly not wonderful for your salads though. There are a couple of different types that you might find in the UK: Laburnum alpine and Laburnum anagyroides. I think this one is. They're sort of native to around the mountains of France and Europe. I don't think they're truly native to the UK, but I think they're a beautiful addition, certainly to my garden. Anyway, If you want to find out more, go to wildfooduk.com or come on a foraging course. And if you like the video, click the like button.